Storm recovery efforts move into overdrive as Mother Nature cranks up the heat. Utility workers making progress on power restoration. Cleanup crews working hard to clear debris, and Good Samaritans handing out food, ice, and water to those whose lives have been turned upside down. Good evening, I'm Cheryl Mercedes. It's all about relief and restoration tonight after Thursday's powerful windstorm killed at least 7 people, damaged homes, schools, and businesses, and left hundreds of thousands of people without electricity. In just the last hour, we got a big update from CenterPoint. By the end of the night tomorrow, CenterPoint expects to have power restored to about 80% of its customers. Right now, the number of customers in the dark is just over 357,000. That's down from more than 920,000 on Thursday night. They hope to have almost everyone back up and running by the end of the day, Wednesday. We have team coverage for you tonight. Devon Rahming on relief efforts from Trey the Truth. Meteorologist Pat Kaplan tracking the heat for us. But first, we begin with Julissa Garza live in the Heights, where residents of a senior living facility have been without power for days. Julissa, how many people are impacted here?
Yeah, well, Cheryl, there's about 230 people that live here at this independent senior living facility. I spoke with a lot of them today who tell me it has just been too hot to be upstairs. They each have their own individual apartments, but they've been hanging out on the first floor trying to keep cool. They tell me it's been difficult with no power, and they, like many, are hoping that it comes back on soon. Saturday, outside of the Houston Heights towers, you can see windows open and residents sitting outside trying to cool down as they go another day with no power.
Oh, it's been awful.
Dale is one of the residents here and lives on the 7th floor.
You can't stay up there. You have to come down, and there's a breeze down here. You can always find a cool spot.
Houston City Council member Abby KHOU tells us she received calls from people expressing their concerns for the residents here, so she came to take a look.
This is absolutely unacceptable. I'm extremely concerned for the welfare of our residents.
KHOU says these residents haven't had a hot meal since Thursday, so she made a call to crowdsource rescue.
We had a number of volunteers who were able to come too and help deliver all this food. And so we are planning on delivering it lunch and dinner until further notice.
Residents like Dale are thankful, taking the meal as a sign.
I'm just hoping that means the lights are going to come back on and stay.
The Houston Fire Department also paying a visit to make sure residents are okay.
If we can provide food, if we can provide water, a bit of cooling in these areas, then we can prevent the need to have emergency calls come out here.
There is a generator helping provide some relief to the people who live here.
The backup generator that is powering the water pump, so they do have running water. The elevators are working. Again, behind me, you see a lot of seniors in wheelchairs.
But while plates of food were being made, the generator flicked on and off more than once. Leaders are hoping they can find a temporary solution.
We're able to step in and get help in as quickly as possible, but you got to see it to believe it, and we have a lot of work to do.
And reminding the community to take care of each other as many wait for power to come back on.
We're about 75% above our normal call volume, and it's going to continue because the temperature is going to continue to rise. And so we're doing everything we can to try and ensure that we prevent some of those medical issues from.
Now, we did speak with a manager here who was actively working with Councilmember KHOU as well as Chief Benya, trying to figure out a temporary solution for these residents as they await for the power to come back on. We did speak with CenterPoint earlier today, reached out again asking if there was a timeline for when they could get power back here or in the Heights area. We've yet to hear back on a specific time. Meanwhile, Councilmember KHOU asked anyone who knows of a senior facility or anywhere that's without power and needs help to reach out. Live in the Heights, Julissa Garza, KHOU 11 News.
Yeah, Julissa, that's critical, especially for folks there who rely on medical equipment. Thanks for staying on top of that. Well, temperatures hit 90 degrees and yep, it was also humid. We're used to that kind of weather here, but when you don't have AC, it's a totally different ball game. Let's turn now to meteorologist Pat Kaplan with how the rest of the night is shaping up. And Pat, What's in store tomorrow?
More heat, unfortunately, and that heat is going to stick around as we get into the beginning of the upcoming week. Live look here from the top of the Galleria Studios along Westheimer. Clear skies, dry conditions, quiet weather. 91 though, the high temperature today. We'll do that again as we go through the next few days. There's your current temperature is still at 80 degrees at Bush, 79 Hobby, 82 in Tomball at 10 p.m. There's your Sunday forecast. We will start in the mid 70s. We'll end up in the 80s by 11 a.m. and then in the upper 80s to low 90s as early as 1 and 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And then we stay in the 90s as we get into the upcoming week. We'll talk about how long this potential heat could stick around and some tips to stay cool if you are still without power when I see you for the full forecast in 10 minutes. Cheryl?
All right, see you then. Thanks, Pat. Tonight, Houston ISD says power has been restored to nearly 200 campuses, and those schools will be ready for students on Monday. That leaves 77 campuses without power. The district says by noon tomorrow, it will announce which schools will have classes. Today, Superintendent Mike Miles visited Sinclair Elementary. He says it and 3 other schools were significantly damaged, including KHOU, Robinson, and Page Elementary schools. Miles says the biggest factor right now is power and replacing refrigerated food.
There's perishables that were lost, milk spoiled, but we have a great nutrition department and they'll be ready to go. They're working the problem right now, and on Monday every kid who comes to school will get breakfast and lunch like always.
HISD says once a campus gets power, crews are checking the air conditioning system and making sure it has working water. Neighbors and community groups have been coming together to help as many people as they can. Devon Rahming went out with Houston rapper and philanthropist Trey the Truth and his group, Angel by Nature.
Well, several local community organizations have stepped up to assist those in need in the aftermath of this week's deadly storm, including a familiar face who's helping those less fortunate. The sounds of chainsaws ring out across the city of Houston in the hands of one of Houston's well-known hip-hop artists and philanthropists.
Yesterday we did about maybe close to 15 houses, and I got a list today of 30 houses.
Trey the Truth and his team of volunteers with the organization Angel by Nature are doing their part to assist those in desperate need of relief in the aftermath of Thursday's deadly storm.
Tree removal, debris removals, it's a lot of people without power, so we're also trying to deliver food, water.
Acts of service, much to the gratitude of people like Veronica Rideau.
As you can see here, we have a tree on top of the house.
Who weathered the storm inside her childhood home with her mom.
You have a lot of elder people still live in the community, and it's hard to get help getting these houses repaired, things replaced that they need in order to live in a safe community.
Because everybody don't always have money, man, so it's just about trying to find ways just to help the people.
Help in the time of need, knowing lives are depending on it.
My whole reason for doing this is, God forbid something ever happened to me and my family, man, I would hope people would step up for us too.
Now, Trey the Truth organization, Angel by Nature, is accepting donations and looking for more volunteers. If you'd like to partner with the organization, we have a link with this story on KHOU.com. In Houston, Devon Rahming, KHOU 11 News.
And if you need a place to cool off or charge your phone, there will be 5 places open across the Houston area tomorrow. The Metropolitan Multi-Service Center at West Gray, the Acres Homes Multi-Service Center, and Sunnyside Health and Multi-Service Center will be open from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. Kingwood Community Center and the Woodlands Community Center will open at 10 a.m. There are also 2 ice and water distribution sites that are open tomorrow. The MD Anderson Family YMCA will open from 9 a.m. to 1, and the Salvation Army on Windfern Road from noon to 4. There were food, water, and supply drives all across Houston today. Ugochi Iloka found people helping their neighbors in 5th Ward.
On the corner of Granger and Market is where hundreds of families got the help they so desperately need today. A distribution center wrapping up right here in 5th Ward as volunteers give back.
We got 4 bags of ice.
20 large pallets of free bottled water and bags of ice. Handed out to more than 800 families. One car after the other, 350 plus, lined up looking for assistance.
Do you know how appreciative I am? I can jump up and down in my own car.
So much gratitude shown to agencies like the Houston Health Department, CERT, HFD, and HPD for stepping up today.
This is fabulous. You don't know how important this is to a community like this. You know, and plus it makes them feel so loved.
Joetta Stevenson is the president of the Greater Fifth Ward Super Neighborhood. And even though she doesn't have power like so many others on her block, she's ready to serve.
I've been driving bags of ice to people who don't have cars. And I've been taking it to their house because they are so hot.
She's not the only one helping her own in the heat.
There were some people that couldn't come out and get any water because they're older, elderlies. So I got them some ice and water.
Jennifer Rodriguez has too been without power since the first day the storm hit Thursday night.
I'm very thankful, because, right now we're in the heat.
Supply drives like this, offering ice and water, are helping Jennifer and Joetta, along with several others, stay cool. How happy are y'all they're doing this?
Really happy.
Was this a big help?
Oh, yeah, I like her. I appreciate it.
And they hope the volunteers can feel the appreciation. One fire department from Euless even came more than 3 hours away to lend a helping hand. Ugochi Iloka, KHOU 11 News.
See it.